Scott does our news, and if you would ask Scott Watson if anybody could read a bedtime story, who would it be?
Jimmy Stewart has this voice that's just very calming, peaceful, kind of.
Yeah, it's very iconic. Very iconic sound. A little bit of I don't want to call it a stammer, but a hesitation when he speaks, but it's very distinctive.
If you've watched the movie It's a Wonderful Life, the lead character is played by Jimmy Stewart. And he has that iconic voice. As a matter of fact, somebody is using Jimmy Stewart's voice, turned it into an AI, and this AI will read bedtime stories to you.
That's weird.
Seriously.
Wow.
Now, if you know Jimmy Stewart's voice in your head, I want you to picture it in your head right now. So picture or hear his voice in your head right now.
Lasso the moon.
I'm going to play the AI. This is the introduction of Jimmy Stewart, AI voice, who is saying that I'll read bedtime stories to you.
Okay.
This is off on Instagram, so listen to this.
Well, hello. I'm James Stewart. But, well, you can call me Jimmy. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story. It's a heartwarming story of love, of loss, of hope, and of joy. But most of all, it's a wonderful sleep story.
A wonderful sleep story, a wonderful life, get it? So, now I'm very curious how close you think he sounds to Jimmy Stewart, that AI version of him.
I think it sounds a lot younger than what is in my head.
I think there are similarities.
Very much so.
Scott?
I agree, a younger Jimmy Stewart. Close, but not exact. But it does sound a lot younger.
Like 20.
Here's Jimmy Stewart on The Tonight Show reading a poem about his dog, Bo. This is just a part of it. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it made me cry when I heard the whole thing. But here's a part of Jimmy Stewart literally reading a poem on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson back in the 80s.
He knew where the tennis balls were upstairs, and I'd give him one for a while, and he'd push it under the bed with his nose, and I'd dig it out with a smile. But before very long, he'd tire of the ball, and he'd be asleep in his corner in no time at all.
See, that sounds so different from the AI to me.
So it's missing the S thing.
The inflections that he do. Here's a part of the AI again.
It's a heartwarming story of love, of loss, of hope, and of joy.
Okay, where he said loss, real, live, Jimmy Stewart would have said loss.
Yeah.
Because he sort of...
Before very long, he'd tire of the ball, and he'd be asleep in his corner in no time at all.
Yeah.
So it's missing that idiosyncrasy of his voice.
Here's what I feel. It's missing heart.
Absolutely.
There's no heart that's in that. Now, it's still good.
Esoteric.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
A genuineness. That heart, it's just
warmth.
hollow.
I'm not saying it's bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's different.
And I think if you have maybe the under 20s, maybe that didn't see him in some of these talk shows and that kind of thing, that actually heard Jimmy Stewart,
Well, you hear Jimmy Stewart this time every year.
Yeah, well.
In the movie, if you watch the movie.
If you watch the movie.
Yeah.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Hearing about Jimmy Stewart, I almost said James. Well, I guess his name is James.
Yeah, James
Jimmy Stewart having an AI read bedtime stories. It's a Wonderful Story is what it's called. It's a Wonderful Life, the movie. You get it? And so now we're hearing from people that are chiming in. You've got a couple of open mics right now through the My HISRadio app. You open up the app, you tap on open mic, you can record anything.
I've been to the Jimmy Stewart Museum up in Pennsylvania. I grew up in West Virginia, so he is about an hour north of where I was raised. And it was an awesome museum with all the facts and different memories of him. So if you're ever up in the Pennsylvania area, you can go visit the Jimmy Stewart Museum. It's really good.
I would love to see that. I only know Jimmy Stewart in the movie It's a Wonderful Life. I haven't seen him in anything else. I know he's been in a lot throughout the years.
I know I've seen him in things, and I cannot call to mind anything other than It's a Wonderful Life.
So, and interesting that they have him, cloned in an AI voice, reading bedtime stories to people. So soothing.
So soothing, but not quite the mark.
Oh, yeah, when you listen to it.
Yeah.
When we were playing it earlier.
Yeah.
Here's another open mic that just came in through the My HISRadio app.
James Earl Jones or Morgan Freeman would be a good reading of a story.
Oh, I would agree on both of those.
I would absolutely agree. Tara also texted and said she would say Morgan Freeman. He's done a lot of narration. You know who I would choose? Sean Connery.
Yeah, he would
Right?
do good.
Go to
Absolutely.
sleep, Money Penny.
Good old James Bond right there.
Exactly.
Reading you a story, the iconic character from way back when. Morgan Freeman, I think I overheard Jake said, what were you saying, Jake?
I said, who did I say, Liz? Javier Bardem.
Yes, Javier Bardem. He was in one of the James Bonds. What's something else he's been in? I can't.
Morgan Freeman we're talking about. That's who I was asking about.
Oh, but no, he was saying that's who he would want. Is Javier Bardem to read his bedtime
But
story.
what were you saying about Morgan Freeman?
Oh, I said that would make sense that people would pick him because he's done narration like
He's
Liz said.
obvious thing, yeah.
What did he do? Earth or something? It was like on Discovery, and he talked about our planet, and you want to take a nap. And not that he's boring.
No.
You just get
it's
your
soothing, really
Yes.
soothing.
Cup of tea, cozy blanket, Morgan Freeman.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Liz in the morning. This is His Radio, your Christmas music station.
And this time of year, it is joyous. But there are some things that can stress us out, whether it's cleaning for company that's coming in or going to the family parties and all the questions.
What do you mean all the
Especially-
questions?
So I remember, being single and you show up at the party and it's, when are you going to meet somebody? When are you going to get married? Are you ever going to have children? Are you going to? And it's just like, oh my goodness.
All those awkward questions.
Right. And I wish I could invite somebody to go with me just so maybe the questions are at bay. Well, there are people that are renting themselves out as boyfriends or girlfriends.
What?
Yes, to act like that. Now, I don't like that. I think, if you need somebody, if you need a plus one because you've RSVP'd for something and whoever you were going to take it, backed out and you need somebody, I'm down with that. But I don't think you should go with this whole facade that this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend. They're making bank. They are making bank. And they're okay. So one that I saw was rent a boyfriend. And there were different tiers. So you had your silver package that included 2 hours at dinner, matching outfits, and he would even tell a couple of jokes.
While he's at the Christmas gathering of the family, so they don't ask all the questions.
That's $75, plus you got to pay for his meal.
And then you're quickly in, and then you're gone.
Yes.
Right?
Right. The next level is the gold package. 3 hours at dinner. You get a backstory on how they met. So now he's making up this whole story.
It's a lie.
Right. Details about what he does for a living.
Which will be a lie.
Yes. And he even will call your dad Pops.
Which is a lie.
Don't do that.
Yeah, never.
Don't call Dad Pops, first of all. The next level includes him telling you he loves you in front of your family. Another lie. Kisses your mama on the cheek.
Woo.
You better ask
That's
first.
creepy.
Now, here's the part I do like about the platinum package.
What?
Now, it's $350. You got to buy him dinner, and you got to send him home with a to-go plate. He helps clean up after dinner.
Oh.
That's the only thing I'll rent you for.
The cleanup after dinner.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But, I mean, Liz has a point, right? When you go off to some of these family gatherings and you're new in your relationship, don't have a relationship, or you just got married, those awkward questions do come, especially. See, I will not ask any of my kids, so when are the grandkids coming? I refuse to ask those questions because they are awkward.
There are some questions that I now ask, and my boys immediately put up a barrier. They will not tell me certain things at the very beginning of a relationship.
Oh, okay. So you don't know a lady's in the picture.
Well, because they know I'm going to stalk her a little bit.
Don't. Well, I understand that.
Yes.
I do that too. I want to make sure that anybody who my kids are going to be engaging a relationship with, I want to know who this person is.
I want to know their mama, their grandmama. I want to know where they work. I want to know. Maybe I take it a step too far, but I need to know things.
Well, hey, Spencer's father-in-law stalked me.
I think that especially if you have a daughter.
Yeah.
I did that with my daughter as well. Like, I need to see your Instagram post from 2010.
Yeah.
I need to know how you were living your life.
Yeah, and thankfully, her parents share the same faith that we do.
Right.
And so he was like more relieved.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, he was like, ew, you look like that? But yeah, I get
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This has really struck a chord in some people when it comes to, and I'm going to be gut real with you, okay? I'm just be gut honest with you. I don't agree with this.
I don't either.
This is a rent a boyfriend thing just to bring to a Christmas gathering with the family to avoid all the awkward questions of when are you going to get, a boyfriend? When are you going to get a tat? When are you going to get married? Where are the babies? I want the grandkids. You get it, right?
You sound like my mom. I'm just kidding. Sorry. What?
Only a much deeper voice.
Flashback.
So,
yeah, right?
So there's this whole service that'll rent out for certain levels, and at certain levels, the lie gets bigger. That's what I call it. I'm sorry.
It's absolutely spot on. That's exactly what it is.
How we met. This is what we do.
I love you even.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. So anyway. So here's Mindy at 800-447-7234. You said you did something similar? What's this?
When I was buying a car, I don't know much about cars. I'm sorry. So I would have a friend of mine go with me, and he helped me actually make the right choice to buy a car. It was the best car I ever bought.
That's smart.
Very
smart. And they did it without, expecting anything. It's not like they wanted money or, whatever. They just went because I needed somebody.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Scott ran over his garbage can. I'm sorry, trash receptacle this morning. He's backed
so
into
fancy.
it. Yeah.
Scott is so fancy.
And sorry that happened to you, Scott.
Whatever you want to call it.
It's a garbage can on wheels. The plastic one, the trash receptacles.
Mm-hmm. And a handle.
And a handle.
It does have a handle. Of course, you didn't need it this morning because you moved it without it.
Right, with your car. Halfway down the block.
And my side mirror.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
So here's the thing. That's not a great way to start the day, right?
Mm-mm.
And I have a feeling that Scott can't be the only one that's ever done this in his life.
Oh, no.
So I'd like to really cheer Scott up because his day started like that. Who wants to start their day with garbage? Literal garbage.
Yes.
Did it tip over and you had to get out and clean it up and ward the possums and the raccoons off?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, all the animals that came.
Thankfully, it wobbled and wobbled a little bit and then corrected itself. So it didn't
Wait a minute.
Slosh all over.
I thought it fell over and you had to get out of the car and picked it up.
No.
And the raccoons were saying, please, sir, may I have some more?
No, I was saying it didn't spill completely all over the street. It kind of leaned a couple of different ways and then straightened back up.
All on its own. So you did not have to get out of the car.
So the impact was not powerful enough to completely knock it over.
Well, he had to get out of the car because it was out in the middle of the road, right? You had to pull
it was in the
back
middle of the road, and my side mirror got kind of funky. So I had to fix it, and then I had to move it back into the driveway. So there was a moment where I had to get out of the car, and move things around.
You got a Ring camera? I'm going to need that footage.
These first world problems, I'm telling you.
It happens.
So an open mic came in, by the way, an open mic.
Okay.
This may help you, Scott.
Please be your daughter.
This might help, cheer you up a little bit. So this is an open mic that came in through the My HISRadio app.
So this story is about my mother-in-law. She and a friend had gone to dinner. And when they were going to leave, it was dark. So she went to backing out and actually backed right into a dumpster.
Ouch. Oh, no. Can you imagine? See, Scott didn't do the dumpster. He just did the trash receptacle at his house.
Probably more damage to that vehicle. I wonder, is your mother-in-law with you? Because it sounded like she was whispering, trying to
go around
so the mother-in-law
corners, not to
didn't
be
hear
heard.
her rat her out.
Could be.
I ran over a phone.
What?
In the driveway. So my son had gotten out of the car. Phone drops out of his pocket. Yeah, ran right over it. So it's kind of his fault. He dropped it out of his pocket. It's his fault.
One open mic from the My HISRadio app.
I work as a bus driver, and I had a coworker backed up into a trash can, and it hooked onto the back of the school bus, and they drug it 2.5 miles down the road, and it was everywhere.
See, Scott didn't do that. Can you imagine seeing that school bus?
I did not do that, no.
Can you imagine seeing that school bus?
It hooked on the back of the school bus. And you know the last kid in the last seat's like,
You know? And for 2 miles, the school bus drug that garbage can.
Nailed it.
we should call it Scott Winked.
Scott
so,
Winked.
Yeah, there you go.
You just bumped it, right?
Like it. Yeah, it's just, it's so quiet in the neighborhood. Every once in a while, I like to shake things up. But I bumped it.
With your car?
I guess the side mirror kind of got dinged a little bit, so I had to get out and fix that and straighten everything
So
out.
here's Sandra at 800-447-7234.
Good morning. I just think, Rob, you are embellishing a little bit on this story about the trash can.
Oh, that's how I saw it.
I think he just had an encounter with his trash can.
And that was quite the encounter, wouldn't you say?
I mean, raccoons, possum, and wolves.
Oh, I'm telling you, the giraffe that came by.
I have hit my recycling bin before, and it was a disaster.
The recycling bins have no tops. Most of them don't have tops on them. I would guess yours is the same way?
No, and they look just like the trash can receptacle. It does have a top.
You hit it hard enough so it went over.
I did.
Oh, no.
And that's like plastic bottles and stuff. That must have gone down the road for a piece.
I always have more recycling than I do trash.
Isn't
That's
that
a
it?
good thing.
It is, but plus your trash is in a bag, so then you just have to pick up bags.
That's right. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
But
That's okay, but I'm not feeling the concern for your coworker.
Sorry about that, Scott.
No sympathy for you.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So I don't know if you need any kind of hack or an idea when it comes to some Christmas gifts. But here's this thing called, and I hope I get this right, is it Burr baskets?
It is Burr baskets. And maybe you're doing the 12 days of Christmas and you're racking your brain trying to figure out, because that probably just started in the last couple of days. So you're trying to come up with a gift every single day. I think this is a good idea. So a Burr basket is really setting somebody up for the winter, like to be cozy through the winter. And there's all kinds of different things that you can put in the basket.
Especially since we're just getting in a winter,
Yeah.
right? Stuffed animals, candles, matching clothes, the lotions, the notes, or a photo journal. They're calling it a photo journal now?
Yeah, it used to be a scrapbook.
Photo album.
It used to be a photo album. Then it went to scrapbook, and now it's photo journal. So I guess you journal. To me, that's the same thing as scrapbook.
It is, yeah. Socks, gloves, blankets, pillows, gift cards, coloring, paint kits, and stuff like that are supposed to go in this basket.
Well, it feels very women-friendly. Not so much for the guys. Because I don't know, if I were to give, Rob a Burr basket filled with these things, I think he would be a little like, Amy will love this, his wife, right?
I would re-gift it to my spouse for sure.
Right.
Amy would be getting it.
So I think if you're going to give it to the male in your life, your son, your brother, whatever, I think you need to make it a little more male-centric.
Yeah, I'm thinking hammer, drill, football, soccer ball.
I was thinking more hot wings.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I got a package yesterday. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio.
Ooh, can I ask what you got?
Oh, yeah, because it was a gift from myself.
Oh, she
was a
bought
book.
herself her own gift.
Yeah, it was a book.
Oh.
On the royal family.
She's everything. If you ever want to get her a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, royal family, anything, she's in.
Yeah, the king who abdicated. Yeah, before.
What'd he do?
He abdicated. He gave up the throne of England for the love of his life.
I'm not going to tell you what I thought he did. I'm like,
Worked
why
on
are
his abs?
they worrying about the king abdicating? Isn't that a private matter? Okay, so I'm glad you got a delivery. There's something that you can do that. I don't know if you know this, but Amazon is going to tip the drivers for you if you say you want them to be tipped.
I did that.
Oh, did you really?
I did for that delivery driver.
Evidently, Liz has an Echo Dot in her home.
No, you can go on the website and do it.
Oh, that
as
part I
well.
didn't know, because if you have like one of those smart speakers, you can literally say, I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to accidentally tip for you.
Oh, that
but
would be
if
bad,
I
wouldn't it?
know, right? But you can say the name of the device, the Echo Dot, the Amazon, the lady's name, and say, thank my driver. And that will tip $5 for you.
Yeah. You can also go online. Like if you're on your Amazon account or the app, you can do it that way. The good part about it is it's not your money.
Yeah, it's Amazon's money.
Yeah.
So they're going to do that for the first 2 million thank yous.
Real? No, I didn't know.
Yeah, there
2
is a cap,
million.
but the first 2 million thank yous. So you times $5 by 2 million. That's a lot of money.
Well, and if you've got a driver, I literally would love to hear from a driver and see how much tip they've gotten so far because, is it $5 or have you gotten like $1,000? Because you make a lot of deliveries in a day.
Well, 300 for Amazon, it's 300 packages a day.
A day?
During the Christmas season.
Per driver.
Yeah.
Oh, my grief.
That's on average. Some more, some less.
Well,
but
sure.
still, the average is about 300. Let me tell you, any person who delivers mail or any kind of packages works their tail end off during this Christmas season.
I would love to get a look at that smartwatch you've got to see how many steps you got or your pedometer.
Really, right?
How many
I'm
steps?
telling you. I had a friend when I lived in Florida that worked for UPS, and the guy made bank every Christmas season.
Oh, from tips.
No, not tips, just overtime.
Oh,
because he'd be in there early in the morning, and then after 11 o'clock at night, coming home. That's how long of a day that he had back then.
And I guess going in if you're going to be a delivery driver for anything.
Yeah.
At the holiday season and the Christmas
they
season.
work hard.
Wow.
I don't care what company it is. You work hard.
And I think they get paid pretty good otherwise.
Well, if there's overtime involved,
yeah,
and then they get seasonal people to help out. But for Amazon to do this for their drivers, that will tip $5 on your behalf, and Amazon's going to pay the tip for you for the first 2 million of those that say thank you to that lady's name on that smart speaker that they have.
Easiest tip I've given this week.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This came in on the open mic, which was a great question, the open mic from the My HISRadio app.
Wondering, does that tip include U.S. Postal Service workers who deliver the Amazon packages?
Great question.
It is a great question, and I would have thought no. Only because how do they have that payroll and know that information?
Because it's the post office. It's not an Amazon truck bringing it to you.
Kirk texted. Kirk went on Amazon and tried to do just that, and it said that they would thank the USPS driver, so the United States Postal Service.
So the mail carrier will
get that $5.
That's great.
Okay, so Amazon, I'm sorry, but y'all did the extra work on this one if you're tracking down other delivery drivers. So that's awesome.